In today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 different ways that you can find wholesalers for your Amazon or e-commerce business. Now, as someone that's been selling on Amazon since December 2015, I have gone through many different ways of finding wholesalers, but these 5 seem to be the ones that have worked best for me and for other extremely successful wholesale business owners on the Amazon platform. And so I'm going to be going through 5. I do have my favorite, which I'm going to save till the end, but ultimately these 5 will allow you to start getting into wholesale. You don't want to just try to do all 5 of them at once. I do recommend picking one that seems to be relevant to you and would help you the most in whatever place you're at in your business. But these 5 are going to help you tremendously in finding wholesalers, distributors, and even brand direct opportunities. Now, let's get to the first one. And that very first one, which most people know, are trade shows. Now, trade shows are simply just you being able to go to an in-person event on usually a particular topic. Sometimes it's a topic of Amazon, such as ASD, which is a popular trade show. Sometimes it's a topic of pet products or a topic of candy or food or toys, whatever it might be. There are trade shows for just about any type of niche that exists out there. When you go to these trade shows, you're going to be able to meet all the different exhibitors that are trying to sell products to companies that want to buy them for their store, whether it's a retail store or it's an online like Shopify store or to Amazon sellers. Now, you want to make sure that you're picking the right trade shows. I do know that ASD in recent years has just become oversaturated with people, and it's not really the best success stories from the people that go there. It's more of a hangout. It's kind of something where you can go and learn, and maybe you can find some opportunities at ASD. But the people that seem to do the best with trade shows are going to those niche opportunities, those pet trade shows, those candy trade shows, grocery, music supplies, etc. That's where you can find the most success because you're going to be dealing usually with some of the smaller brands, but also brands that truly care about their presence in that industry that they're in. And so if you're someone that's looking to start from a proven product partnering opportunity where you're working with a brand directly, or you're trying to get exclusive wholesale accounts, this is a great place to do it. You're going to be able to have these discussions in depth with people that actually care about their businesses. Now, that also doesn't mean that you're going to be able to go out and find a ton of different products that you're able to purchase, because there are still going to be rules and restrictions depending on the brands or the distributors that are at these shows. And a lot of times they do have the restriction that you can't sell on Amazon. And so there are different ways, things I've discussed on this YouTube channel to kind of still have a good discussion with them about potentially being the exclusive provider on Amazon, but that is the topic for another video. And so if you go to these trade shows, it gives you the ability to network, to meet other people, to see brands and distributors that actually care about their brand online as well as in retail stores, and you can be the person to work with them. And there's multiple different ways to have that conversation, but trade shows is a great place to go. Now, if you want to go to a trade show, but you can't make it that weekend or you can't fly or travel, a lot of times the trade shows will have some sort of an exhibitor list or a brand list that you can go through online. Sometimes you have to pay for it. Sometimes it's just posted on their website, but you can use that and say, hey, I wasn't able to connect with you at this trade show. Would love to talk about opening up a wholesale account now, and try to do that virtually. You can do it through email, you can call them, whatever it might be. But at least then, if you're calling them or emailing them, you have a topic of conversation, which is that trade show. And so that gives you kind of a warm opener for your discussion, which is always nice. Now let's get on to the second opportunity for finding wholesalers, which is actually associations. Now, many people don't really realize this, but there are associations for just about anything out there, especially from a business standpoint. So I actually used to sell insurance, and in selling insurance, a huge part of that was working with associations for contractors and funeral directors and jewelry stores and things like that, where you would go to the association, you'd be able to network with other local business owners in that area, because it was typically going to be regional associations that I was working with. Sometimes it would be national associations, so you'd just be meeting and learning from other people. But in these associations, you're learning about the industry, what they care about, their pain points and the things that are going well for them. And you're also making connections. And so if you're somebody that wants to focus on a niche, for instance, pet products, or for instance, guitar supplies or office products, you can find the associations for that particular niche and join the association, show up to their regular chapter meetings if there's a regional meetup, or even their yearly meetup together with other national providers. And there you're going to be meeting other business owners in that particular space. And so this gives you the ability to network and to talk about what you do, how you help brands on Amazon or help brands on whatever marketplace you're selling on with Walmart or other third-party marketplaces. And this is how you can start to create relationships and create a true business. The associations, I personally believe, give you a lot more power because you are then paying to be a part of the association and you are a member with them. You are kind of linking arms together in that niche or in that particular category, which really sets you apart from all the other people that are just emailing to get a price list. So hopefully this is one that can help you. They will typically also have regular meetups and stuff that you can go to, and I recommend going in person if at all possible, because a face-to-face connection is much better and more powerful than just sending an email. Now, the third option, which is one that most Amazon wholesale companies try to do, at least at some point, or they even build the systems for it, is actually going brand direct based off of a type of brand that they're looking for on Amazon, and they are going to be sending out mass emails to those brands. Now, that's something that I don't personally like to do. I have done it and I've gotten results from it at times, but it does take some good systems and it also takes some persistence, because you're going to be having to send out 100 emails to get 5 to 10 responses, and then maybe closing 1 to 2 of those out of the 100 emails that you're sending. Now, it doesn't sound too bad. It is a lot of work. It's grinding. It's making sure that you're finding the right brands as well. And you can use different tools like Smart Scout or even Jungle Scout and other things that can help you to identify the right brands to reach out to. But ultimately, it is kind of a, you're spreading as much as you can out there to see what comes back to you. It's not actually learning about a brand as much, or it's not learning about an industry as much. It's just going for the best brands that are on Amazon and trying to send out as many emails as you can. And then if you want to take it another level, that's when you can start to phone call those people and say, hey, I never heard back from you. Or if you did get a response, you can then open up the conversation. So this is an opportunity that still works. You can absolutely be cold emailing people and cold calling people, but it does take more persistence in just a different way. Ultimately, I believe that the associations and the trade shows allow you to find good relationships in person, but it does require you to actually be there and network. Where this is an opportunity, you can just sit behind your keyboard, or you can outsource this to a virtual assistant to just be sending emails to wholesale companies for you, and that's when you can open up the conversation from there. It's not my favorite, but it is one that many courses out there teach, and it does still work. It just takes a little bit more persistence with sending a ton of emails and trying to open up conversations. Now, the fourth way to find wholesalers for your Amazon business is through local markets. A lot of times there are small brands, whether you go to a farmer's market or you go to like a little local show in your area or in different areas, and there are going to be these small brands, whether it's salad dressings or it's a type of jewelry or something that is getting made at home or in a small facility by these local brands. And a lot of times these companies may or may not actually already be on Amazon. So this would be more of an approach of partnering with the brand where you can be the exclusive provider. You're building the listings. It's a little bit more legwork, and you have to be knowledgeable in launching products and doing a good job by the listings as well. But this does give you an opportunity to find products that maybe aren't on the Amazon marketplace yet, but still have a good gap for you to be able to go and sell them and do it at a high profit level. Plus you're getting in on the ground floor with some of these little local places, and you can talk to them about, being in that local area. You're going to have a common ground because you're already in that area with them. This is a great opportunity. I've seen people take this and turn it into a huge businesses before, partnering with those local brands to start their own Amazon business, or you becoming the exclusive wholesale provider there. And this brings me to my fifth and final and favorite option, which is starting with your replenishable products in your Amazon business if you're already doing online arbitrage or retail arbitrage. Now, if you find these products that are replenishable in your business, you're buying full price from a store, and you can go and see what's selling the most, what's consistent. You're not reaching out on Oreos, you're reaching out on some of these smaller or regional brands, maybe some of these niche products, but you see what's doing well. And then because of that data and that information of what's already selling in your account, you reach out to the brand directly to either find a distributor that you can purchase from, or to actually purchase from that brand directly. The reason I like this is because you are learning the foundation of Amazon. You're starting with replens and arbitrage. It's a low risk method whenever you look at all the opportunities out there. And then you're seeing what works in your actual Amazon account and then turning those into relationships from wholesale. Plus, when you reach out to those brands or to those distributors, you already have information of what's working well with those particular products, as well as what is working well on those listings and things that can be improved because you've been selling on them already. And so this is the method that I've personally used the majority of the time as my wholesale business has continued to evolve at different points. I've been doing more cold outreach or trying to do things with local associations or trade shows and stuff like that, trying to actually build relationships. But ultimately, this is something that will help your business to take a replen, something that you're buying arbitrage that you have little control over. You can't control that supply chain at all. And you're taking it more into your control by reaching out to the brand directly, getting an account, hopefully, and then being able to purchase purchase directly from them, most of the time at a much bigger discount than you're buying it in a retail store, depending on where you're purchasing it from. So this is my favorite method. Now, if you're somebody that has brands that you'd like to figure out how do I actually contact them, but I've got a list of brands, then that's where you can utilize Google. Google is very easy and simple to use for these types of things, just by looking up a particular brand, finding contact information. And if you can't find anything on Google, look on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn a lot of times will have the profiles of the purchasing managers and the wholesale department, or even the CEOs of whoever these brands are, and you can find their contact information through LinkedIn and other sources. So hopefully this helps you to find more wholesalers. These are just 5 different opportunities for you to go out and add these wholesale businesses into your account. But ultimately, there's a lot more out there. It's mainly about building relationships, knowing what you're talking about on Amazon, and being able to communicate that well. I have done a whole video on the basics of wholesale and having conversations with wholesale, so you can check those out on my channel after this one. But ultimately, what are some other methods that you've used in your own business to find wholesale accounts? List them down below in the comments. I'd love to hear them and discuss them even further. But I hope this video helps you and blesses you. You have a great rest of your day and a blessed rest of your week.